بس هعمل حاجة صغيرة كده. بعمل سيت اب صغنون كده. طبعا ممكن اوريكم منظر الشخصية سريعا على بال ما النظر. There's the character. طبعا وشها مش باين. ده الراس ماشي. لا مفيش التيرن اوف. ما علينا. تسيب الشخصية كده شوية. محدش يسأل على الارمور بتاعها عشان انا نفسي مخضوض منها دلوقتي. تعال نشوف جمهور الفيسبوك هيخش معانا ولا ايه النظام. ماشي. Okay, now let's see here. Here goes. Okay, now we're live and kicking. ماشي. طيب زي ما انتوا شايفين الارمور monstrosity فظيعة من الالوان بغض النظر عن اللي بيحصل. بس ايه يعني it's a progress بغض النظر عن الحاجات اللي احنا عملناها قبل كده. عملنا شوية progress. الارمور بتاعنا الى حد ما on par 28 38 23 ما عدا الحزام طبعا 17. يعني هي مشكلة البروجريشن بتاع اللعبة دي في الارمور في الجيرينج اب بيبقى غريب شوية بس it gets better later. طيب احنا قدامنا مفيش هنا اي كويستس او اي حاجة. هنروح للاريا التانية لان دي هي اللي هيخش فيها الستوري بتاعت الجراند كومباني. جراند كومباني في اللعبة دي اللي هي حاجة زي جلد كبيرة كده او حاجة كده زي القوة العسكرية بتاعت كل واحدة من المدن. فالمفروض ان احنا هنشوف في ماشي. هنروح نشوف دلوقتي حاجة كده زي demonstration للنيشن عامة دي اللي هي البلد اللي احنا فيها. هنعدي على الثلاث مدن ونشوف كل واحدة فيهم بتعمل فيها ايه ده وندوس waiting. هنخش هنا على البارت ده فيه كاتسين فهنسكت بقى لغاية لما نشوف ايه اللي هيتقال. طبعا الشخصية بتاعتي ملثمة.
Behold, 'tis the Santana Nanimal herself!
And Roban as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Roban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
ايوه اديهم يا عم روبان.
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the
سيبكم على
realm.
الكاتسين شوية بس ثانية.
In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Uldar stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth.
Sorry for the wait. معلش جالي تليفون.
I beseech you.
طبعا انا مش عارف مين اللي فات ومين اللي دخل بس يعني بعتذر يا جماعة مجددا وسط الستريم.
Seek not to prosper from Uldar, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Uldar. As Uldar prospers, so shall her people.
انا كويس ان انا عامل اوتو ادفانس.
Together we are one.
Your grace.
Raoban?
أنا
مش عارف هو بجد بيتعاملوا معاها ازاي كده.
I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Uldar.
Yeah. Does that include your height?
Those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Uldar, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Okay, kiddo.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune.
بغض النظر عن الأصوات اللي بتحصل.
Into the inferno, for we are by fire reborn.
Yeah, indeed.
Forsooth,
The time is now!
I believe.
If you'll permit me, Alfino.
Oh, the great
And my sister,
Alfino.
Alize, at your service.
واضح انها متضايقة قوي.
I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler.
Why, yes indeed.
You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
Enlightenment, he says. طيب هو الجزء ده هيبقى تكست بس اكتر. ممكن نسكيب هنا. هو هنا بس بيشرح التاريخ بتاع النيشن اللي احنا فيها، العالم وشكل الحاجة اللي فيها. اوكي on to the next one. كده احنا المفروض نروح عند تعالوا نروح جريدانيا. Let's go to the airship landing and see to it that we see the rest of the nations. ماشي airship تكتر، عايزين نروح لجريدانيا. في كاتسين؟ skip it. بس الترانزيشن ما بين المدن مش حاجة مهمة. Nothing to see people. Let's move on. اوكي بعد كده بقى نشوف لو في سايد كويستس ضافوها في المدينة ولا لأ. دايما لما بيضيفوا كويستات او حاجة لازم بتبقى في المين سيتي نفسها، متبقاش في الارياز اللي حواليها. يعني في اكسبشنز صغيرة بس يعني تتعدى على الصوابع، مش كتيرة قوي. بس مينلي لو في حاجة جديدة بتبقى في ال في السيتي نفسها، المين سيتي. اوكي ماشي. هاوس ذا ديث بيلت. الكويست دي مهمة تيت. هاوس ذا ديث بيلت دي بتفتح لنا حاجة جديدة اسمها Palace of the Dead. بس هنخليه نركنه شوية دلوقتي عشان ايه، هناخد الكويست عادي هنركنها شوية. احنا كده كده اصلا هنرجع للمنطقة اللي هي بتودلنا اللي هي في ساوث شراود. هي طبعا الخريطة مش واضحة بس احنا كده كده هنروح للساوث شراود قريب يعني. until then هنخلص احنا بس ايه wow, look at these number of people. Wow, just look at these people. All of them are players. عشان في حد كان بيتفرج على الستريم قبل كده بيقول لي اللعبة دي ميتة خالص. This is the most populated MMO game ever. اللعبة دي مليانة ناس خصوصا بالنسبة لألعاب تانية كتيرة. يعني number of daily active account وصل لأفريج 100,000. لا رقم خزعبلي بالنسبة للعبة ان انت الافريج بتاعك 100,000 في اليوم شغالين. حلو يعني.
I lost my son to the calamity.
No one cares.
Senses are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
Yeah, I don't give a care about that. Okay.
Our forebears were once strangers in the XIV's wood. Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest.
Okay.
Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races.
Interesting.
So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seer.
Hello, boy. You keep following me around.
The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol. Do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, Our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat.
Okay.
5 years ago,
Nice speech.
the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Carteneau. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
بشرك بالخير يا حبيبتي.
Time was a man could walk
Pox
the
on that
high
bloody
roads without
Ixal.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
Let's honor the lads by looking down and whatever
And how
that
do you
dude is doing.
propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
Good question, Alize. Good question.
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen.
And the trees. Tree
Let them
huggers.
be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity.
All hail the trees
We
and
must
boughs.
think of the children.
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
For
forest.
the elementals!
What? Well, I hope you're happy. You started the revolution. Oh boy. Look at these children stand. What's with the guy in the back? The guy has horns, for crying out loud. Tajali or not, he's a freak. ما علينا. نفس الكاتسين بس ايه المرة دي بقى على جريدانيا بيشرح بقى التاريخ بتاعها. يا ترى هيقول ايه يا ترى هيقول ايه؟
Fancy meeting you again.
Why, thank you, little fella. What do you got to say this time around? And more text. أنا طبعا برضو بيشرح نفس الحاجات اللي قالها قبل كده عن المدينة. بيشرح الصراع الدموي اللي بيحصل وإيه التاريخ بتاعها باختصار. So we're gonna skip this one. Okay. خلصنا المنطقة دي. What else to go to? تعالى بقى نروح عند لمسا لومنسا. ماشي بس هتأكد الأول إذا كانت الاريا التانية مفيهاش كوستات أو حاجة. I don't think there is بس just to be careful. ماشي ندوس ريتيرن نرجع للمسا لومنسا for free. ماشي lower decks. يا جماعة استعدوا عشان اللحظة اللي انتوا بتستنوها كل ستريم. لحظة التهنيج. احنا هنخش على مجتمع كامل دلوقتي. جد كل ما اخش عند الايثرايت بتاعت لمسا لومنسا اللي هو oh god make the loading times a little bit faster. هتشوف الناس دلوقتي داخلين ايه امم طالعين هو يبان فاضي. wait a second here it comes. ايه ده هي actually فاضية seriously لمسا لومنسا actually فاضية. ووهو اول مرة اشوف المكان ده فاضي. اوه اهو لا ابتدوا يلودوا هم. اهو ابتدوا يلودوا. اوه ماي جاد لا اهو استنى شوية استنى هيلودوا هم اوه ماي جاد. اوه ماي جاد والله العظيم انا حاسس انا عارف كل شوية انا قلت ازاي فاضية كده. ماي جاد My god, this place is a loading shithole. يا لهوي بجد كل مرة اتخدع واقول لا المكان فاضي مش عارف ايه واتفاجئ بالاعداد بتظهر قدامي بوب 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 بوب. يا لهوي. Now we're about to know. هنخش على الستيت روم ونشوف الحاجة ميرلب. My lovely waifu. Oh yeah, you're about to see why.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
خش عليهم يا معلمة. هنشوفها دلوقتي. Oh, what a glorious leader. Look at this beautiful babe. And that wreck. Boy!
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
Yeah, we swell from another thing, but I won't say what it is. We kinda know.
700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Wow. حتى الكاتسين وهي شغالة الويذر بيتشينج عادي. Wow. Just wow.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say.
Why, yes indeed.
The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa.
Aye, Captain.
I swear to you no army ever fought harder or with more courage. Yet many of ours did not survive.
Ah, yes. They must die, of course.
Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Aye, Captain. Hooray! أنا افتكرت هيعملوا حاجة.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom.
Yeah, the freedom to kill.
Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again?
We shall! With big bosom!
Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano.
What's
The
even that?
Zahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Zahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go.
Yeah, they surely do.
These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port.
Your
We must
bearings!
mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men.
I think she's talking about us.
Then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom.
Oh, yes, Captain.
And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
نروح بس شوية عشان
Gather the
يكون
lads!
سريع.
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
سوري، معلش كان جالي تليفون والدنيا كانت بزراميط خالص. حبيبي زعمتك انت لسه موجود ولا لا؟ ملحقتكش معلش. anyway، اتمنى الكاميرا اللي موجودة تكون ايه صورت لكم جزء شوية من الاحداث. يا لهوي، ده في ساعة طارت من الستريم. ماشي اوكي، هنكمل احنا بقى. المفروض كده speak with the wood whaler expeditionary مش عارف ايه in South Shroud. لا دي مش هي دي. عايزين نرجع لمنفيليا at the waking sands Karn و deliver supplies. ماشي، هنروح deliver supplies للحاج جاندلين في نفس المدينة اللي احنا فيها. هنا مفيش اي حاجة. ماشي، يلا بينا نطلع الدور التاني. let's go. اوه، شغالين سول كاليبر دلوقتي. انا بص، انا والله العظيم انا ما كنتش عامل حسابي، يعني عارف اللي هو جالي تليفون كده وكنت مضيع اصلا، فمعلش انا اسف. المهم انت عامل ايه؟ هنشوفك النهارده ولا ايه النظام؟ ماشي، يلا يا عم نشوف، نديله الايتمز ونشوف الكاتسينز. This is the most queer cutscene of them all. فاضل 5. اوبا، لا يبقى احنا كده نشتغل لك النهارده. احنا نعمل لك شغل عالي ونوصلك لل100 يا باشا، عشان تخش في تخش بقى تبقى عالمي يا ريس. بغض النظر عن الكاتسين اللي شغاله دي، بس ما علينا. لا كويس نوصل ان شاء الله ل5 النهارده. نحاول نعلي الدنيا شويه ونعلي لك الاداء. شفت؟ مش قلت لك الموضوع هيبقى حلو يا ريس؟ انت اللي مصدقتنيش. ولسه كمان يعني هو البتاع باظ ولا ايه ده؟ استنى احاول افتح من على اليوتيوب واشوف بنفسي. وهنعلي الدنيا يا باشا. ايه ده انا ايه المناظر دي؟ A beauty reborn. اوكي ماشي، هنتفرج بقى. بغض النظر عن الحلاق ايوه هو حلاق للاسف، يعني استيتيشن. ادينا التيكت بتاعته كده، فتحنا الاستيتيشن ونقدر نعدل في اسمه ايه ده، الهير ستايلز. حبيبي مدير القعدة جه. عامل ايه يا باشا؟ منورني. احنا عايزين ايه بقى؟ نخلص البتاع هنا ونطلع بقى على ساوث شراود ويلر ويكينج ساندز. ماشي، هنروح نعمل ايه؟ ماشي اوكي. مش هننقل بقى على الويكينج ساند تاني. نستخدم التيكت اللي معانا ونطلع يا معلم. هيا بنا ننطلق. مبسوط بيكم يا جماعة والله، منورين الستريم بجد. يلا بينا. كده هنطلع عند المنطقة اللي بتاعتنا. حبيبي الزعيم، لا انت ليك ليلة النهاردة، احنا ليك قال لنا سهرة معاك كده وايه هنشوف. هيا بنا نستجم. ماشي. ايوه يا حاجة منافيلا. ويست كومبليت. طبعا دول بيتخانقوا مع بعضيهم.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the calamity and Seventh Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of
واضح انك
course
زعلانة.
they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the calamity? No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the calamity behind us.
انسى يا معلم. ضاع
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience.
خلاص ما تزعليش نفسك والنبي ما تزعلي.
There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I
الطشي
need to
وامشي.
find it.
ما تعبق الطشي وامشي.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
هيخلعوا هم بقى.
My lady!
We are to escort you.
ايوه جرونتو.
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister. Or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent
boy.
old ones from opening anew.
ماشي كده احنا عدينا مرحلة خرافية من اللعبة. كده بقى مفضلش غير ان احنا نختار الجراند كومباني بتاعتنا. بما اننا عدينا على المدن كلها هنختار ستورم اوفيسر عشان ده اللي في المدينة وده اللي مكان الكوستات هتبقى قريبة منه. ف have you not joined the maelstrom. اوكي let's do this. اخيرا يا جماعة هنوصل للمرحلة ان احنا نقدر ايه نخش تاني، نرجع تاني للمدينة بتاعتنا. let's go. طبعا هنلاقي اللاج الفظيع، بس قشطة يعني هنتعامل معاه لان احنا كده كده اصلا ايه، انا عارف ان البتاع دي بتليج يعني. هخش دلوقتي هتشوفوا المنظر عامل ازاي. زبد زبد. انا لسه مش عارف شكل الكويست هتبقى عامله ازاي في بعد ما استلم المين سيناريو كويست دي هتبقى عامله ازاي، لان هي في شويه فاريشن من مدينه للتانيه. طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اهو لسه مفيش ناس، هيلودوا دلوقتي هيلودوا. ماشي، هو مفيش هنا كويستات عامه، فاحنا نهرب للمنطقه اللي بعديها عند the after castle. ها ايه بقى اللي موجود؟ ايه بقى اللي موجود؟ بسم الله. ادي كويست، مكان الكويست اهو. يلا بينا. my name is Helga مش عارف ايه. if you'll have me you're expecting me. طبعا هي ملثمة بس ايه، وطبعا في مصايب بتحصل. ماشي. reach them before the Guardians do. ماشي. اوكي ماشي تمام كده. دلوقتي المفروض نروح عند head to the Cedarwood and determine the fate of the airship and its crew. ماشي. هي الحتة دي بعيدة شوية، فاحنا كده كده ايه هنريح النهاردة وانا هكمل الكويست. هي الكويست دي تعتبر فرعية، ف هنسيبها للمرة الجاية، وان شاء الله نكون عملنا شوية بروجرس في الجير اب وكده، و لغاية ما نشوف بقى المرة الجاية بقى. قشطة. اتمنى تكونوا اتبسطتوا النهارده في الستريم. ان شاء الله نحاول نعمل حاجات تانية اكتر في الحلقة الجاية، ويبقى في كات سينز اكتر هوفرها لكم في شوية حاجات زبد كده هتحصل، وشوية كوستات برضو كتيرة هتعدوها، فايه هحاول اجري لكم فيها. اتمنى تكونوا اتبسطتوا معايا. ان شاء الله اشوفكم في نفس الميعاد بكرة الساعة 6 مساء، واشوفكم ان شاء الله في حلقة جديدة بكرة في نفس الميعاد. باي باي.